Rotary really becomes part of the Chinese society. Rotary, I will tell you, is not ready for 500,000 Chinese Rotarians. But we need to be. We need to start visioning in that direction. Because our organization is not about countries. It is not about how many times we put an American in the office of President of Rotary International. Our organization is plain and simply based on serving through acquaintance. And that builds peace in this world. And peace will only come if we can develop acquaintances with Rotarians from every country. So I would like to end by talking about the final core value of Rotary. It is the one that is probably, to most of us, the most important one. To many of the people outside of Rotary, it defines our product. We are looked at as an organization that serves. And so I will tell you one story. And I suspect it is the story that puts me in front of you. But before I tell you that story, I want to recognize what I saw yesterday. My aide, Ray, please stand up if you could, Raj. PDG Ray took me around to see, I think, about 57 projects yesterday. We began somewhere around 9 in the morning and completed our travels about 8:30 last night. And I saw several of the projects that your district is involved in. And I am so impressed. You embrace service in your community like no set of Rotarians that I've ever met. And you should be so proud of what you do in your world. So many times yesterday, I thought to myself, I wish the Rotarians in my club served like the Rotarians in your district. We too often write checks for service internationally and do not get engaged locally like you do. And I am so impressed. And I could name so many of those projects, and I won't, except to say, stand up, take a bow, please, all of you. Please stand up and take a bow for what you do in service in your community. Thank you. It truly is an honor, and I say this from my heart, it is an honor to be in the same organization with you. So I will end with one story, and I have made almost a dozen trips now to Haiti over the last decade. And each one of those trips is focused on water projects. And on my 5th trip, we had our act together. We would always bring about 10 Rotarians to that country. And we usually used our hands. We would have some project that we were volunteering on. And so on this project, we spent a week building a home for a very poor family in a rural region in the mountains of Haiti. And towards the end of the week, we do what is the most important piece, and that is cut a ribbon at a well dedication ceremony. Primarily what my district has been involved with internationally is providing safe water in Haiti. And so when we take our Rotarians from cold Minnesota to warm Haiti, we visit to see the need for safe water. So on this trip, on this project, we cut the ribbon at the well, and we pumped the pump, and we held hands with the Haitians as they thanked God and thanked Rotary for safe water. And then we walked down the street to visit a farm family. And for every well that we drill, we provide the material for the construction of 20 latrines, 20 outhouses. And so for the first time, one of my groups visited one of those farmhouses to look at an outhouse. And the owner of that farm, an older man, came out of his house, a small 12 by 18 foot shack. And he and his wife have 6 children. and they lived together with her mother in that house. And he had a gift for the 10 Rotarians in our group. He had a jar with 2 eggs in it. And he was so nervous as he opened that jar to give us the eggs that he dropped both eggs on the ground. And he shook it off, and he walked back into the house to get 2 more eggs. And the last thing any of us wanted to do was take 2 eggs out of the mouths of his children. But we were gracious and waited. And what we saw come next was the true message. We saw his youngest child, a little girl, not more than 5 years of age. And on her own, she walked back into the house and came out with a pan and a spoon. And we watched her kneel down and desperately try to scrape up the broken eggs from the ground. Those are the people we serve through Rotary. The face of that child remains. And I know for many of you, you have experienced firsthand what I experienced when we watched that young girl try to scrape up those eggs. You have seen the people that we help, and you know the good that we do. And in the future of Rotary, we must continue to embrace service to children like that. I thank you sincerely for inviting me to attend your conference. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you and to represent President Ray. Thank you very much.